So I'm talking about convection cycle inside the atmosphere. So in the Earth's atmosphere, cold, hot air kind of gets generated at the equator. If you look in the middle of this diagram, because it's closest to the sun and it heats the air and the air goes up, and it gets cooled as it goes higher and moves towards the poles slowly, because you can see it starts rotating. At the poles, it really cools down and drops again, so it kind of like circles the air all around. It occurs in the atmosphere, like I said, with updrafts and other kinds of things like that in air. And the material it occurs in is oxygen, nitrogen. It's what makes up our atmosphere. But how is it heated and cooled? Mostly by distance from the Earth and how far away from the sun. So the sun heats up most of it, and depending where the Earth is, if you look at the equator, that's closest to the sun, really depends on how the updrafts work. And the effects of the cycle is there's lots of winds and stuff like that get generated by this, and the currents of hot air, and storms is another big one. Hurricanes get generated by this, because as warm air gets frozen, you can get spun into different hurricanes and stuff like that. And that's how you get over here in Florida, which is kind of close to the equator, you get these big warm storms. What would happen if it stopped? If it stopped, we wouldn't have any more storms anymore, so we wouldn't be able to get rain as easily. It wouldn't blow things around, so you just have clouds, I think, go up and then just condense right above the ocean and fall back down, because you wouldn't be able to move them anywhere. There wouldn't be any wind, really, and it'd be impossible to paraglide, so that would suck. And the interesting info I found is that part of, if you've ever heard of thermals, it's kind of generated by this effect as well. It's warm air rising up, and cooler air comes down, and it's something that paragliders can use to go up in the column of the air, which I thought was really cool. But yeah, that is my convection cycle. See you next time.